Good evening, Internet. Welcome to Swishpan.
Swishpan!
Swishpan.
Swishpan!
Swishpan.
Swishpan!
This is a movie show, I assure you. Tonight, I'm Shane Orman. This is Danny McMahon. You can contact us on Twitter at FeckTv and Facebook. This is
Swishpan!
We're really doing that. This is a special show tonight. Our editor or producer isn't here, so we've got Aisling taking care of everything. Hopefully Martin is watching with the rest of his class. Hey Martin, look, I can move my arms now. Yay! So what have you got for us tonight, Danny?
Tonight I have for you things that we are not going to talk about. We're not going to talk about the fact that Lady Gaga is teaching her dog to draw. Leonardo DiCaprio dropped 400 grand on a date with Bill Clinton. Jodie Foster came out, and John McAfee's getting his own movie.
I know we're not talking about any of those, but did you say Lady Gaga is teaching her dog how to draw?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
What she's doing is she's actually quite the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
She's taped markers to her dog's feet.
And just let it go.
Yeah, and then she's selling those paintings.
Oh, okay. Paintings.
Paintings.
Yeah, very much so.
In a couple of minutes, we're going to take a couple of seconds, rather, we're going to take a look at the trailer for the new Die Hard. Die Hard, not 5.0. It's called A Good Day to Die Hard.
Yeah, it seems like another Indiana Jones 4, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, we'll get back to that.
Do we have it now?
We might have it any moment now.
We could possibly have it almost now, but...
Ooh, Swishpan!
Swishpan. Well, we just had a nice look at the 20th century.
What I would like to
Fox
say to you
logo.
is, you know there's this trend in Star Trek movies that like every even-numbered Star Trek movie is good?
Yes.
So, Wrath of Khan, good.
Yeah.
Whatever, the fourth one. Was it Search for... I don't know.
Yeah, it was so good you can't even remember.
Yeah, no, but I know, I've been told that there's a trend in Star Trek movies. Now, I wonder, does Die Hard do the opposite thing, where every odd-numbered Die Hard movie is good? First one was great.
Well, we can actually look at this now if you want.
Oh, well then let's roll the clip,
I've
Shane.
got our magic elves. We've got our magic elves in the ear saying that it's ready.
It's ready.
Welcome to Moscow. Jack!
Dad?
Need a hug?
We're not a hugging family.
Damn straight.
Experience it in IMAX February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Okay, so I'm looking at that, right? And I'm like, okay, it looks pretty nice. And then it's like, welcome to Moscow. And I'm like, oh, we're at war with the Russians again.
Yeah, okay, well, if I need to remind you, Die Hard 1 set in a building, okay? Just one singular skyscraper.
That's why it was a brilliant movie.
Agreed. Second movie, set in an airport, slightly bigger, slightly wider range. Third one, set in a city.
So
Third one was good, though.
It's a precedent that they're setting. It's going to get slightly bigger.
Well, then in Die Hard 4, I believe he was saving the country, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was saving it. Now he's saving the world.
Yeah.
What is it about progress that you don't understand?
We could just like merge the next Star Trek film and Die Hard, and he could just save the galaxy.
Yeah, the Wrath of Willis.
Just send him off to Mars, like sort out the colonists up there.
What do you think about that?
He's got a son. Getting a serious Indiana Jones 4 vibe off this.
Well, in the last one, he had a daughter.
I'm your son. Hello, son.
Isn't it funny that these siblings just keep popping up that have never been mentioned before?
Yeah, they just like conveniently put in because they need younger actors now and they're trying to launch their careers.
Although I'd say John McClane was quite the player.
Yeah. Didn't he? He was a wife and then divorced. Look, the first one was amazing, and I think it was amazing because what you've got is like a man doing incredible things.
Yeah.
And then like that kind of stretched a little bit over the second and third one.
Third one was great. I'm sorry.
No. It just got more incredible things. But then in 4, it was like a normal man doing impossible things.
I nearly fell asleep during that movie. The director, Len Wiseman, cannot direct a film. He's completely incapable of sucking me in and like just sucking
Riding
me
the
in.
stealth fighter?
Yeah, okay.
What was that?
Okay, well
Come
that
on.
was entertainment now. It wasn't my problem. It was like, it was action overkill to the point that, I know it's a ridiculous plot, but the point is it's a ridiculous plot that he tries to, you know, it's not about the plot. Die Hard doesn't need to be a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. I love the first Die Hard movie, and I thought the premise of it was very interesting. But that he keeps getting caught in these situations becomes less and less plausible. So the more Die Hard movies are, just by that alone, they're going to get worse. Just because you have to suspend your belief more and more every time you sit down and watch a Die Hard film.
Absolutely, and you know what? I honestly hope this one's good. I hope every movie's going to be good.
No, me too. And I was saying to you earlier, like, two of my biggest disappointments in the last year were The Hobbit and Prometheus, because I had such high hopes for him for those movies. The Ridley Scott original Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time.
And then what is it? 2 years later, he made Blade Runner.
Blade Runner,
1980.
Blade Runner and Alien. They're my top two. The other ones change all the time. Blade Runner and Alien are my top two, and I really thought Prometheus was going to be like a return to form for the Alien movies. Because the other ones are fun, but they're crappy, you know?
I totally agree with you. Speaking about aliens, in a couple of minutes, we're just going to have a look at the Pacific Rim trailer. Now, this is Guillermo del Toro's first film since, as you were saying earlier, Hellboy 2.
Which is 2008.
And he was supposed to direct The Hobbit, which was awful. He probably should have directed that.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting to see, because he did write one of the treatments of the script, and I think it would be interesting to see how he would have approached the script. And I would imagine you'd be seeing a lot less CGI in there. And probably you'd have like Doug Jones popping up as like an orc. You know?
Yeah, and probably only 2 movies that were well-rounded and less full of absolute muck. Okay, if we can roll with the clip, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
Swishpan.
Actually, the producer just told me to say Swishpan there. Just like, I think you've got
They're getting it.
I think you've got the Swishpan covered.
Sweet.
What did you think of that?
I often think trailers are brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a stupid statement. But what I'm trying to say is I often think trailers should be awarded by themselves. As a trailer, it was pretty good. I thought the CG was too ambitious. I thought...
It's interesting to see that he's working with CGI now, because he has put such...
What are you talking about?
Well, like in the last few films, especially something like Pan's Labyrinth or Hellboy, he does put a huge emphasis on having the character actually there. In Hellboy 1, there was a lot of CGI, but he eased off again in like Hellboy 2.
No, they didn't.
You had certain scenes, but Mr. Wink, like that guy, they actually built him, and he.
Okay, no, look, I agree with you in the fact that yes, the prosthetic stuff they do is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But I do remember a scene where a giant green flower, and that's what sticks in my mind.
Yeah.
Attacked the city, but it was very pretty.
No, it was very pretty, and he is using CGI more and more, but that was kind of responsibly used, I think.
Northern Irish man on a skateboard. He wasn't even a man, he was like a troll creature, kind of goblin thing.
Goat.
And then the whole latter part of the film was completely CGI, with a guy in prosthetics who probably just should have been CGI for the sakes of it, so everything...
Hellboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I really like the design of Hellboy.
No, me too. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think it works. No, but I was just saying that he does prosthetics so well. And you're now moving to a film that's very heavily CGI. I mean, even all the scenery that we saw there was all CGI. It was a bit of an alien at the end. I had thought that this was just going to be a robot film.
No, this is essentially a rip-off of Godzilla. So the premise behind it is like these aliens come from the deep. Where have you heard that before?
Yeah.
And then they're ruining the earth, and man's resistance is they build these giant robots to fight the... I mean, on paper, it sounds great to me.
I love giant robots. One thing about it, though, is that they're slow-moving giant robots.
No, but they've got little jets that could...
Yeah.
And
see, I'm a big fan of like the Japanese giant robots that kind of, move very fast and they go like...
Do these not move fast?
There was just one of like a robot kind of... There's one scene there where a robot was just going...
Right, I'm going to cut you off there, and I think we should talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger's comeback. The next clip I'm going to show you briefly.
Comeback.
Yeah, well, comeback. I wish,
Yeah.
Politics are over. So what next? This looks like a really, really weak attempt at a comeback. Schwarzenegger plays, a 50-60-year-old cop in a town, and basically trouble comes to his town. For some reason, they stuck Johnny Knoxville in it. I mean...
We actually have the clip here now, if you want to...
All right, let's roll the clip, yeah.
Sheriff, we have a situation. I have a dangerous cartel boss heading your way. Boom, 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 boom.
He's got an army.
I got an idea.
Bring everything you got.
You never know.
How are you, Sheriff?
Old.
Boom, 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 boom.
Last Stand. Rated R.
Nobody thinks that's going to be like a great movie.
I'll watch it, but I know.
No, I think everyone will watch it, and I think everyone will come out of that being like, yeah, that was good.
Do you think?
Like it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. You got the cheesy lines. Its cast seems to be entirely made up of people with flagging careers trying to revive them. You got Johnny Knoxville. You've
Not
got
a good
that
move.
You've got that kind of like that Mexican guy who
Louis Guzman.
just pops up every now and again.
Fuck your mother. He's great.
And then like you've got Schwarzenegger, and he's old. So now like in the trailer he says I'm old. Like I honestly,
I'm back and old.
it's just going to be a Schwarzenegger movie. It's not going to be amazing, but like people will go see it and people will enjoy it. I think it'd be nice to have a Schwarzenegger movie. You know.
I'm more excited about him coming back in The Legend of Conan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's he going to play in The Legend of Conan?
Conan.
What?
Well, the last Conan ended with him being the king.
Yeah.
On the throne. And now this take will be him as a 60-year-old king who has to pick up the sword again because shit's gone shit.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It does kind of.
It does, and that kind of character actually, that role really is made for Schwarzenegger, because not just the muscles, but like
The lack of talking.
Conan doesn't speak, like he does blah.
Off with your head.
Yeah.
Do you know that bit where he punches a camel in the original film? He actually does that. It's either a camel. He knocks out a camel in that first movie, and he actually does that.
He actually knocked out a camel.
He actually knocks out a camel.
Animal rights
camel?
weren't like great back in the day.
They still aren't.
I was looking at one of it was like the top 20 greatest scenes of Bond ever, and like the number one scene was I can't remember the film, but it's the one with the alligators, and he's on the alligator farm.
Alligator farm.
He's stuck on like a little island, and he's going to get eaten by alligators, and then suddenly these alligators line up for him,
Oh, Jesus.
and he runs across the alligators, and the alligators are like, "Stop walking on me!" But
So you're telling me this was animal cruelty? These were real alligators?
these are real alligators that they strapped in place.
Gotta have been Sean Connery, no?
No, well, it was Roger Moore, but it wasn't Roger Moore.
Obviously. Because
he-
Roger Moore's never done anything.
Roger Moore said,
I'll pick up the teacup, but that's about it.
"I always do my own stunts, and I always tell my own lies as well."
Should we round out the last of our trailers, perhaps?
Yeah, please do.
The next one is going to be, this is the Evil Dead remake. Now, it's being produced by the original director, Sam Raimi, who ruined the Spider-Man trilogy, but also, was responsible for it too, in a good way, e.g. the first two. He's on board as a producer, and bearing in mind that the first Evil Dead flick wasn't a comedy, that was left to the second movie. The first one was trying to be a balls-out horror, that's what it was.
but
A
it was
gross-out horror.
It was a very low-budget balls-out horror, and then I think that's what gave it like its character in the day.
Let's just get our balls out.
Horror.
You reckon we could roll the Evil Dead trailer? That'd be nice.
Can we actually?
Mom would have hated seeing the cabin like this.
Oh, is that what? What is this?
You shouldn't have touched anything from that basement. You are all going to die tonight.
Oh, look.
Where's Bruce Campbell?
Um,
Where's his character?
He's not in it.
He's not. Ash isn't in it.
Why would you want to try and top Bruce Campbell? I think there'd be nothing sicker than watch somebody else try to be Bruce Campbell, because I think that would be a true... Imagine it was Matt LeBlanc.
But what? Why would you remove like the best character when you're remaking a movie?
When you know that it's not even worth trying.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not overly optimistic about it. I have kind of a sordid past with horror movies. They're very easy to mess up.
Sordid past.
Sordid past. Yeah. No, I really, really takes a very good horror movie to impress me. Cabin in the Woods wasn't very much a horror movie last year, but I love that.
It was good.
I'm a huge Joss Whedon
Solid
fan.
premise, yeah.
And it was just like an extended episode of Buffy. Like I thought it was amazing.
I don't know if that's a good thing, it being an extended episode of Buffy.
You don't
but
like Buffy? You don't like Buffy?
I mean, I had her posters on my wall, but... You don't like Buffy? Buffy not for you?
Poster hypocrite. Poster hypocrite. No. It did lag in like, you know, as the series dragged on, but I think the first 2 or 3 series were
There were
very,
some
very
great
good.
moments in that TV show. I remember there's one episode where her mother lived in the walls and something about cheese. It was all very avant-garde. I was a big fan of that. I suppose we don't have time to talk about Jurassic Park 4, do we?
We could just briefly talk about it. Is there a rumor going around that like the dinosaurs are going to be half people and assassins?
Not a rumor, but actually a former script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in one of the scripts with the original draft, this is for a film that's supposed to be released, whatever, 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was about a bunch of dino hybrid assassins that were basically anti-terrorist
See, that sounds
dino
cool.
hybrids.
I would watch that. I wouldn't watch it as a Jurassic Park film, but I would watch it as a film. It sounds like it would have been brilliant in the 90s if you had made it in the 90s. Anyway, do you want to talk about Django? Just
We better talk about
bit of
Django.
time left?
Yeah, okay. Django Unchained.
Django Unchained.
I would say, if it's not the best film of this year, I'll be very surprised.
It is definitely the best film I have seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And one of the films that I have been looking forward to that hasn't broken the Sweet Promise.
The Sweet Promise?
The Sweet Promise, like the trailer that looks so amazing, and then The Hobbit turns out to be terrible.
Do you know why? I read the script first, as I occasionally do with movies. If they leak, and it's someone like Tarantino, I read the script first. And I have to say that the trailer looked awful.
Really?
Yeah, when I read the script, I was so in love with it. I was telling people, oh, this is going to be the best movie you ever see. And I saw the trailer and I went, oh, God.
The
What's
trailer
that rap music playing over it?
Yeah,
you
they
know?
kind of made it more accessible, try and get butts on the seats and stuff like that. But when you actually watch the film, that didn't come true at all.
No, I agree.
There was a bit of rap in the middle, but it was only used like once, and it actually suited the scene.
Modern music in period movies just doesn't work for me. I think it's something that just
I think Tarantino does it because he
just about gets away with it.
he uses
just about gets
a
away
lot
with
of
it for me.
funk, and that ran the whole way throughout the film, and it was kind of that mix of he also threw in a bit of like Japanese influence, a bit of funk, and then good old spaghetti western.
Or a southern, as he's calling it.
He's calling it a southern, yeah.
Yeah. What I will say, and I can't say this enough, is Sam Jackson. Welcome back to the world of acting. Him playing off Leonardo DiCaprio, I honestly think my favorite on-screen duo in a very, very long time. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just the way they play off each other. And just to let you know, Sam Jackson's character is basically, he hates black people. And he's talking about Django. He's like, so is he going to stay in the big house? He doesn't want anything
He's one
to
of
do with
these black people who have been indoctrinated into the hate of black people.
Yeah.
And he kind of trades that off for a bit of power himself. We actually have the trailer here. If you just want to take a quick look at it.
Let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
Do you know what a bounty hunter is?
You kill people, and they give you a reward.
I'm looking for the Brittle Brothers. However, I don't know what they look like, but you do.
They caught my wife, and they sold her, but I don't know who to.
I need your help. If you do this, I'll take you to rescue your wife.
Where are we going?
Gentlemen, come on over. We got us a fight going on that's a good bit of fun.
How do you like the bounty hunting business?
Kill white folks and they pay you for it? What's not to like?
I like the way you die, boy.
You're welcome. What's your name?
Django.
That was immense. I really must say, it's one of the most enjoyable films I've seen in years.
Yes, agreed. The violence was absolutely sensational. That's one thing I want to say, actually going back to the Evil Dead trailer, was that as a gore fan, the gore was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was. And do you know how over the top, and it's all that orange hammer horror blood.
Yeah.
There's scenes in this where people are just being shot left. Like they're using bodies as blockades to dodge the bullets.
And it's weird how Tarantino got this reputation for doing violent movies when the body count in his original movies are relatively low.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't until you hit Kill Bill that he really started whipping out the gore.
Now, I don't think it was about body count so much as it was about cinema was kind of, Reservoir Dogs came out in 91, 92.
Yeah.
And that ear cutting scene, even though they didn't show that, I mean, this is before all the kind of the tirade of like Japanese horrors where it was like extreme ultra violence. I mean, you have to remember films like A Clockwork Orange were actually banned still at this point. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Clockwork Orange was banned in Ireland until 2001.
Yeah, I caught it that year in the cinema. It was great.
Did you hear Clockwork Orange is out?
It's
all right.
Doesn't say much about the Irish, does it? 2001. Have you heard about Clockwork Orange? It's class. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Very futuristic.
Back to Django.
No.
I have to say, what struck me about this film was just how funny it was.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that.
Well, like Inglourious Bastards was very funny, and he seems to
had
be
a small
using
Arrivederci.
he seems to be using that kind of as a template for his style now. Had Christoph Waltz in it, Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards. I absolutely, after falling in love with him.
And he got the best supporting actor at the Golden Globes there.
Definitely, he deserved it.
Sure.
I think his character as well is not like black and white. It's paced, and he has his own little kind of. You'll see in a film he does a couple of things that are unexpected. If you remember, I don't want to ruin the film for anyone.
Okay, yeah. Well, the character's a little unpredictable at times.
Yeah.
He still has that kind of, he has that alluring kind of sophisticated air about him, but maybe he could snap at any moment, kind of a thing.
He's brutal. He really is.
Methodical, but brutal.
Methodical. I honestly think the humor in this film, the violence, the characters, everything was perfect. And I honestly, when I finished watching it, I had this kind of sense of satisfaction that you very rarely get from a movie.
Let me warn the viewers about the one thing that brings this movie down. And I have no problem telling you because it's not a spoiler. In fact, I'm doing you a favor. Beware, it's going to happen. Quentin Tarantino shows up in the most god-awful cameo of all cameos. Now, I know Alfred Hitchcock liked to stick his head in occasionally, and you know, even Kubrick appeared in the background in a couple of movies. Tarantino, there's like a slow pan, not a swish pan, coming onto him, and he just he starts talking in this god-awful Australian accent. Yeah. Oh, good day, mate.
No,
it's insulting to the viewer.
I usually like Tarantino's like cameos in the film. Really? I think his monologue at the start of Reservoir Dogs is fantastic.
That's good.
And I think the Bonnie situation in Pulp Fiction, you didn't like it?
I would have liked any other actor.
And I loved him in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Why does he always have to play somebody who's cool?
He's never cool.
No, From Dusk Till Dawn was the only role he was good in because he played a jerk-off nerd.
He was terrifying in that, I thought.
Yeah, because he played like a geeky. I don't know. A little more to what he's probably like in real life. You know what I mean? Stop casting yourself as the cool guy.
He was like a paedophile in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was more to his character.
Anyway, it seems like we're out of time tonight.
Unfortunately.
Hopefully you'll join us next week. You have a little bit of a Twitter.
Aisling, could you give us one or two more Swishpans for the way out, please? If you'd like to take it away.
Swishpan.
Swishpan!
Swishpan.
Swishpan!
Swishpan. Thank you.
Swishpan?